Welcome back to Section 4 Fans. Today we're talking the latest from around the sports world, touching on the NFL, F1, MLB, and getting into the wildest new competition out there, the enhanced games. We've also got plenty of other thoughts, reactions, and takes from across sports along the way. Let's get into it. Episode 36. Carter, glad to keep it going with you. How was your little extended weekend with that 3-day weekend?
You know what? It's nice, but that first day back at work is horrible. And just opening up my inbox to endless emails that I don't even know where to begin, and it's just overwhelming at the start. But no, it's good to have a nice little break. I haven't had a day off in a while, so it's nice, extremely nice. It was beautiful weather as well.
Yeah, I can't disagree there. The weather was quite nice. I got to enjoy some of the sun. Nothing beats getting outside the office. After spending a whole week under those lights, it's nice to get some sunlight. And, even if it's a bit hot, that nice wind breeze every now and then feels much better than that stuffy office AC we breathe in day out. So. But, yeah, I mean, it was an action-packed weekend for me. I was just watching a lot of soccer. A lot of other sports as well.
Should we attack the elephant in the room?
Not sure what your elephant was, but I just wanted to hit on some quick news that came out probably within the past
Mine
2 hours.
Was Premier League elephant in the room.
Sorry about that. We can we could touch on that after this right here. Within the past 2 hours, it came out for the NBA. Joe Mazzulla, Celtics head coach of the year.
Oh.
So big congrats to him, the Celtics organization. As
stepped down
fired or something. No, he got coach of the year and well deserved. I think the expectations going into the season, I don't think a lot of people anticipated the Celtics to even make the playoffs. So that just goes to show you the job he does to make that team ready game in, game out throughout the season. So, thoughts on that?
I mean, I think the big part that played into him getting coach of the year was no Tatum, obviously. And
Definitely.
Because I don't know what their odds were at the start of the season to where they finished up overall, but I don't think anyone expected them to be as good as they were without Tatum. And props to Jaylen Brown until he started live streaming, man. Once he started live streaming and going after Stephen A and stuff, I don't think that's a good look. Going on live stream immediately after the series and pretty much
it's not
making
a good look.
Excuses.
Yeah, it's not a good look, and
only in the NBA.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen
Probably
for this
in the NFL
off
as
season.
well. You know what I was thinking about, like controversial players and stuff? I thought Shedeur Sanders would be in like a lot more trouble.
No.
Kind of stuff, but he's very well-tamed guy.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was going to be kind of like a Zion or like a LaMelo, or Ant.
I think it's
baby
just
mamas. It helps who his dad is, but I don't know. I just thought since he's been under his dad's wing for X amount of time for so long, that like he was finally away from his family and stuff, what was going to happen. But fair play to him. And I'm interested with that QB battle. Is Watson back for sure?
Yeah, I mean, Watson looks good to go. In my opinion, I think he's going to be their week one starter. Deshaun Watson is. I do think that Shedeur is their QB2 at the moment.
Don't rule out
they also have I think the guy from Arkansas, Jalen Green, I think is his name.
Yeah, they drafted Jalen Green, and they have Dylan Gabriel, so that I think that shows.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gabriel get cut, or I do think he could get moved.
I think it's going to be the Kenny Pickett situation. He gets
Yeah.
It's just kind of there.
We'll kind of see what happens over
QB1 battle in Minnesota
there.
right now.
Yeah, it's that's going to be an interesting battle between
First day today was QB1
Kyler Murray
battle.
and J.J. McCarthy. I think a lot of people are anticipating J.J. McCarthy not to be the Week 1 starter. I think they anticipate Kyler Murray to be the Week 1 starter, and I think this is a move for him just to kind of
take a step back.
It's counting on yourself type of year. He'll be a free agent after the season, and he wants to prove he's still a starter in the league, and he wants to prove that he could be that like a top 5 paid quarterback. We've kind of seen expired quote unquote quarterbacks. They've gone to the Vikings recently, and once they've left, they've kind of found some new life elsewhere. A lot of people give the credit to KOC, Kevin O'Connell over there, as a little bit of a QB guru. Obviously, the main start point was Sam Darnold. He went to Minnesota for a year, and then just this past season won the Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks. So I think people are anticipating a similar maybe career projection for Kyler Murray based off of how things have gone for a specific quarterback. But
I mean, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback at the end of the day. I do rate him, honestly, quite high. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on, as a 9 believer, as a JJ believer, thoughts on how do you think he's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Kyler Murray in training camp? Kind of how do you anticipate that starter spot to shape out?
I think he'll thrive. Honestly, I think he'll thrive. Like, I'm not trying to be biased or anything. I think he'll thrive because I think last year he was kind of given a situation where I feel like it's hard for a young quarterback going into an offseason where you're being told you're going to be the starter. Like, you've already earned it when he hasn't played a snap of professional football. And I think this year, with the competition, it'll make him a lot better because it keeps him honest. Do I think he's going to win the starting role this year? I'm not sure, but I think he'll thrive in the competition aspect of things.
Okay, so you're taking it as a point of you think you think Kyler being there is going to be a good thing for long term for JJ's career.
It's going to be a stepping stone in his career.
So even if he doesn't play this year, you're taking that into consideration about him just being underneath a guy like Kyler Murray, just an NFL vet. You think that's just going to help him long term?
100%. I mean, if you look at J.J. McCarthy, he looks like an awesome teammate to have. Like, he's not, if he gets benched, he's not going to sit and pout on the sidelines and be
he seems like a guy's guy.
He's going to be building up guys on the bench and still be a leader. And you see it all the time with especially recently with quarterbacks in the NFL, where I feel like 10 years ago, if a quarterback misses their opportunity, they won't get another shot. Whereas now,
you do see some guys get a little bit of life, a little second chance.
Baker, Darnold,
Malik
Willis. Yeah, what a random shot. I mean, he was fantastic to watch in college, but all of a sudden,
back at Liberty.
I know. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, he's kind of just sitting. He went to Tennessee first.
Yeah, he got drafted to Tennessee and then spent some time up in Green Bay, and now he's with the Dolphins, who have kind of gutted their depth chart and skill positions offensively. So
I hope he thrives there.
We'll kind of see what happens.
Where is Tua?
Tua is in Atlanta battling it out with Penix. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I've seen clips. Yeah, 2 lefties, 2 injury-prone lefties,
and then an undrafted free agent.
One is coming back from, I believe, a ACL tear that ended his season, and the other one is coming back off a season of just being ass, apparently. But
who's who in this situation?
Penix, he got injured at the end of the year. Cousins had to ride it out. So he's coming back from, I believe, an ACL tear, and then
you got that.
Tua just had a horrible way to end his Miami Dolphins tenure, and now he finds himself in Atlanta. But
Minnesota D2 quarterback as well, battling it out over there in Atlanta.
yeah, he'll probably be QB3.
I saw someone say he could be QB1.
I mean, that would shake everything up. Although the Falcons don't have much going towards Tua in terms of like money.
Kyle Pitts.
Money, there's nothing really going. It's like a mill, like vet minimum going to Tua. So they don't really have anything to be like, okay, we're paying this guy. We're paying this guy millions, so he's our guy. It's at this point they think Penix is their guy, but also they don't know. He was questionable before the injuries. Now he's coming off an injury, and okay, yeah, sure. Let's give Tua a shot. Let's see how it shapes out in the QB room there. My best guess,
how good
based
Tua
off
was?
what I've seen, is I think Tua is going to have the job. I think he'll get the starting job, and I think the Falcons get to the playoffs this year. That's a very early hot take from me. I think I don't want to say win the
good. Bucks
I don't want to
are
say
good.
win the NFC South. I feel like that's a bit much, but
I think the NFC South is going to be a gauntlet this year. I think.
Yeah, I mean, with
Shuck a year under his belt, I think Shuck will be decent. You have the Buccaneers.
They also got Chris Olave still. They have that one tight end too. I think Johnson. He played at Oregon back when Shuck was in Oregon back in like, I don't know, what was that, like 2019 or something?
Juwan Johnson?
Yeah, Juwan Johnson. He's there, so they got that connection there. So the Saints do look like a pretty up-and-coming team. They also have Alvin Kamara still.
No,
the Panthers,
he left.
I'm pretty sure
I thought he went to
Kamara's
the
there.
Bills.
I saw something saying Alvin Kamara didn't want to be traded. If he was, he'd just retire. So that would be quite shocking. While you have that, searching for that.
Yeah, he's still. I thought he was a free agent.
No. He'll just keep
Who
re-signing
signed
to
for
the
the
Saints
Bills?
if they want him. The Bills got DJ Moore. That was their kind of big signing in the offseason. They got him via trade from the Bears.
I swear someone signed a running back.
No, there's
besides the point.
There's been no running backs moves, but yeah, it's going to be interesting kind of to see where things shape up in the NFL.
That's where it is. Travis Etienne went to the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot
but
about
apparently
that.
his name isn't even Etienne, it's HN. But he never told anyone right from his time at Clemson. Like the moment he stepped foot on Clemson.
And he has a brother
he
goes
never.
to it was at Georgia.
Yeah, he never corrected anyone. That came out this offseason, which was pretty funny. Another kind of, well, there's nothing really funny here, but there's a couple highs in the NFL right now and a couple lows. We could start with the highs over in the NFL. Chargers extend safety Derwin James for 3 years, $75.6 million extension with 57.5 guaranteed, making him the highest paid safety for the second time in his career.
Screwing you guys over with that contract.
That's fine. We have no one else we need to pay on defense. Everyone else is relatively young.
He's not like, all right, let's go win a championship. I'll take a pay cut. No, I'm draining you guys.
No, because he's the guy on defense.
How old is Derwin James now?
He's got to be 30, probably like 29 or 31, somewhere in that range. 29.
Okay, so yeah, you get him. You have him for the 3 years that he has left in him, and then you just let him go.
Which is that's basically the end of his
I thought
prime.
he was like 32. I thought he was
I want to say he got drafted like 17.
It's just he's been so consistent for.
He's consistently top 2 safety in the league every year, except for the years he got hurt, obviously. But I think he's easily a top 2 safety in the league. You could keep thinking of other safeties to bring up, but I guarantee you a lot of people are picking Derwin James over. But yeah, so big ups to him, and the Chargers were looking real good this year. Another big money coming out.
He's not top 2 right now.
Who would you put above him?
Kyle Hamilton.
Okay, I could give you that.
Jesse Bates.
He's good.
What?
Do you even know Jesse Bates is on the Falcons?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I just looked up.
Yeah.
I forgot where he played.
I'll take Derwin James over Jesse Bates.
Really?
It's no longer Cincinnati Jesse Bates. It's
Xavier McKinney.
still take Derwin James.
I mean, I'm looking at PFF right now. Antoine Winfield Jr.,
I'll still take Derwin James over Winfield.
Kirby Joseph. Derwin James is 7th PFF.
Derwin James. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of those guys you named
Jabril
were
Peppers is in the NFL still?
yeah.
Still haven't seen.
That's
Smith.
just my thought on safeties and where we're at in this league. But the Texans also inked Nico Collins. They adjusted his
I
contract
saw that.
guarantees over the next 2 seasons, increasing
move.
this year $9 million cash and an increase of $8 million in cash next year. So congrats to him, well deserved, big time receiver down there in Houston. And we could kind of stay in the in the South, but not really in the South here. We're going over to the desert. We're going to hit up the Cardinals here. Some news coming out of that facility. Cardinals have been receiving calls on Pro Bowl defensive end Josh Sweat, who is entering the second year of his 4-year, $76 million deal, and he's reportedly not happy. He hasn't reported to voluntary camp, but I've also seen some things where that's been his past of not showing up to voluntary camps, which are voluntary for a reason. But I have seen multiple reports coming out about how he's unhappy. I think it has to do with the fact that he was kind of brought in. Last year, he was brought in as a big-time signing. Gannon, their head coach, was still there at the time, and he had ties with him previously. So I think with Gannon leaving, I think Josh Sweat is wanting out of Arizona, and I think they could be in a point or in a position where that could be a successful move for them. Obviously, with them having $76 million or a little less than that entering year 2 left on his contract, I think if they could get him off the books and get some guys on cheaper contracts, help fill out that defense a little bit more, that could keep them a little bit solid. Offensively, they do look good, though. But that's kind of all I got coming out of the NFL. Not sure what you had.
I have
any news dropped.
Something actually out of MLB that kind of just happened.
Okay, we'll swing into MLB here.
The Cubs are playing the Pirates right now. It's 12-1 in the 8th inning.
Okay, and they're down.
Well, I clicked on the video, but pretty much what inning was it? Bottom of the 5th. Cubs are down 7-1. Cubs pitcher in his windup. Ump calls time in his windup, so he's behind. Ump's behind the catcher. Yep. Lefty's up the bat, so the umpire steps around to the right-hand batter box to call time. The Cubs pitcher continues his throw and throws it straight at the umpire and drills him in the leg. Or no, actually, not in the leg. It went right in between his legs, right like that far away from his private area, nuts, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, legit.
The jewels.
90+ probably mile per hour fastball right at the umpire.
That'll do it. That will do it for you.
Talk about the Cubs, man. They were first before, 10 games ago.
And now they're on a 9-game losing streak. I believe it looks like this could be the 10th game they've lost in a row. So unless a miracle somewhat in these late innings here for Chicago, they're going to be on a 10-game losing streak, which is their longest, I want to say, since I believe it was 2022 from what I saw. So it's been quite some time since they've been in that big of a slump. But yeah, it's been a complete 180. They were very hot on top of the, I think on top of the NL altogether, or almost there, right underneath the Braves, just a couple of games ago, as you mentioned, and now they're in the depths of hell on this skid. What do you think about that?
I think that's how the game of baseball works. Unfortunately, you're gonna go on hot runs. You're gonna go on cold runs. I don't think it's anything to panic about. The thing that sucks is that you have your high value players in a slump, and those are the guys you rely on to get you out of it. Like PCA struggling, Swanson struggling, Bregman struggling.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard what's his nuts, the right fielder this year. Is it
What, Seiya Suzuki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much from him, even though last year I thought he had a pretty good year.
Yeah, they've gone quiet. Their pitching's gone quiet, too, as of late.
So I don't think it's... I mean, and there's some organizations where you look at calling someone up to provide a spark in the clubhouse, or maybe some of the guys struggling be like, all right, wake up. We're calling guys up. You don't want to be here. I mean, it's cliche to say, but I don't think it's anything to worry about for the Cubs. The NL Central, I believe, is pretty weak. Really, you're competing with the
Brewers.
Cardinals and the Brewers right
Brewers
now.
are on
The
a
Brewers
tear.
are
I mean,
ahead.
your pitching's incredible.
I mean, if the Cubs can stay near that wild card spot, and I mean, it's only May, so it's still ways to go. But I don't think the Cubs have anything to worry about right now. They will make moves at the trade deadline, not selling the team, but they will buy. They always do.
Yeah, speaking of that, I saw that if the Astros' woes continue, that they could be a team that could be in a
Yeah,
position to sell.
They're blowing up.
To
shit.
sell,
They're
and it
blowing
just
up.
depends if they want to retool or completely blow it up. And if they do blow it up, there's going to be some big pieces available. Josh Hader, I believe, would be available, and then what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Either way, they're blowing up ship.
Yordan Alvarez.
I don't know if they trade him. He's too high value, I believe, to sell at the trade deadline. I think if they were going to trade him, it'd have to be now to get somewhat value of him, because to show like, hey, we still have a chance to make stuff, but like we're going to trade him because we believe that now's the best time to get offers for him. Whereas the deadline comes around, they're going to get, what, 3 prospects and a dude that's dying at the end of his career?
Probably.
Like,
yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens there. We could kind of keep on the pitchers here. Don't know if you saw, but Craig Kimbrell has signed to the Tampa Bay Rays. This is now his 11th
wasn't
MLB
he just
team.
on the Twins?
No, he got DFA'd a month or two ago, and I can't even remember which team it was from. I want to say the Mets, but I'm not too sure. You know who Craig Kimbrell is, bro. Played for the Cubs, I believe, during the World Series.
Yes.
Have his arm.
Yep.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Gives more depth to the Rays bullpen. We can kind of, we're just rolling heavy with pitching here, honestly, on at least for me, for MLB. The Astros throw a combined no last night, a no-hitter.
Shit ever.
I mean, that was due to Tatsuya Amai, Steven Okart, and Alember Santa. What do we think about that combined no-hitter? I think it was, first of all, congrats on those pitchers and doing that. Such a
cool
hard
achievement.
feat. But if you look at the stats behind it, it wasn't a very successful pitching display. I believe there was 4 strikeouts combined between all the pitchers on the Astros.
Yeah, I have it actually right here. I had it up. I was looking at it. 3 pitchers, 4 strikeouts, 5 walks.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, you didn't allow any hits. So, that helped your team win. But I feel like 4 strikeouts from your pitchers is a little bit of a non-ideal night. But, you can't be negative on everything. So I know they're going to be pretty stoked about that. And hopefully they could use that to kind of get things going in that clubhouse and get the rails or get the train back on the tracks, so to speak.
One of the things also adding on to the weirdness of this no-hitter, the final strike of the night was a ABS call.
hell of a way to end it.
Just it's like scoring a 95th minute winner, celebrate, goes to VAR.
VAR,
You
yeah.
wait 10 minutes or something for some crazy review, and then they give the goal still.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, the ABS challenges, they, for the most part, I think they've been pretty good, and they don't take too long. I know there's been some instances where they've had trouble kind of getting it up on the big screen at the ballpark. But for the most part, I feel like it happens relatively quick, or as quick as possible. So that's a nice thing to kind of keep the game going
Do you
and
think
sort of a flow.
Do you think combined no-hitters should be counted as no-hitters? Or should it be?
I think combined no hitters should count as no hitter, but it'll be like
team.
Astros parentheses and then like all the pitchers. That's how I would do
Whereas
it.
like
Because
each
I don't
pitcher.
Yeah, I don't think a guy that just went 9 innings by himself through like 115 pitches, he gets a no hitter. I don't think that is the same amount as a guy that went 5 innings and only had like one strikeout. Like it's just a different level to accomplish. Nonetheless, a no hitter is extremely hard, but to do it yourself rather than a combined no hitter, I believe, is just that much tougher.
Yeah.
Another pitcher note here, as the Blue Jays, another one goes down on the IL for the Blue Jays, as they've had an injury after injury type of season up there in Canada, as Dylan Cease is now on the IL with a left hamstring strain. That is really unfortunate for the Blue Jays, and they do have a lot of their lineup on the IL. I know they have, and it's a lot of guys that honestly contributed to their World Series run last year. So without those guys on the team for an extended period of time, I think it's affected them a little bit, more specifically in the pitching department, as Dylan Cease is on IL. Shane Bieber, he's also been on IL. He's rumored around potential late June return. Alejandro Kirk, catcher, he had a couple big moments in the playoffs last year. He's out for early to mid-June. Addison Barger, he was a hero at one point during that World Series run, and he's out on IL early to mid-June. Max Scherzer is on IL. He's, early to mid-June. A couple more pitchers here, a lot of pitchers. I think their bullpen's pretty depleted, if I'm being honest. Cody Ponce, he's been out since March, literally the first couple games of the season. Torn ACL, so he's out the year. Anthony Santander, the outfielder, he had left shoulder labral surgery, so he's out till the end of the year, if he even comes back. So that is just so many star key players for the Blue Jays to have on IL. And, at least most of them seem like they're coming back in June. Just kind of thoughts on how you think this has affected the Blue Jays. Do you think they're going to be able to get another crack at the World Series this year, or do you think it was kind of a 1 year, a little one-hit wonder action?
Baseball, I think, is one of the... no, I take that back. I was going to say some, but now that I think of the way baseball is now with the Dodgers, at least the AL is one where you don't know who's going to make the World Series, because the Yankees spend the most money, but they'll always choke it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what happens over there with the Yankees. Something happens, but you can always count on the Dodgers succeeding. But I think that they'll make a revival later in the season, but I think they'll just miss out.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're 10.5 back from the American League, or for wild card they're 1 game back, so they're not out of it.
Like the race can't keep up what they're doing. I don't believe.
No one knows. I mean, it's
like, look at it like this. There is going to be 3 teams from the AL East that make the playoffs no matter what, I believe.
Yeah, but also if you look right now, we're about a third through the season, and all 3 division leaders are all the lowest payrolls, basically. in the league for the AL. You have the Athletics on top in the West. You have the
Makes
Guardians
no sense.
out top on top in the Central, and you have the Tampa Bay Rays on top in the East.
Okay,
Those
so
are
I
some of the lowest
take
payrolls.
I take the Blue
and
Jays
then you
back.
go over to
I think Blue Jays make the playoffs.
you go over to the NL, and you have the Braves, the Brewers, and the Dodgers all on top of their divisions. No surprise from those, really. But hopefully the Blue Jays can get some guys back. I know it's honestly their pitching. They just need to get those pitchers back and healthy. And I think if the rest of the team can keep things going, I think an improvement in pitching depth is going to be tremendous for the rest of their season in terms of the success and the things they want to achieve. I think they got to get those guys back and healthy soon.
Yeah, I take it back after looking at the AL, where the state of the AL is in. I think that the three teams from the AL East will make the playoffs.
It's not a bad take. We'll just have to kind of wait and see what shapes up in the other divisions. I don't imagine there's going to be. I feel like if we could look another 3 months down the road, I feel like it's probably not going to change too much. I know that it probably will, but I think some of the teams that are towards the bottoms of their leagues, of their division, I think they're staying down there.
There's
I
one
don't
team
think
that
you're
will
gonna see a
always
team
make a
that's gonna shoot up.
revival, though. One team will always make a revival.
Just need to get hot, and we'll kind of have to wait and see who gets hot out there. We have F1 happen this weekend. We could keep it with
what a dead sport, by the way. What a dead
I didn't think
sport.
it was that bad. I think what really happened was it was nice to be able to watch the races again, as this year it's all been on Apple TV. So unless you have Apple TV, you literally cannot watch any of it unless you watch the highlights or whatever on later, or illegally stream it. But this is the first race of the season. I don't know if they'll do it again, but it was on Netflix, so that made it much more accessible, at least for people in the States, to have access to the race. And I enjoyed being able to watch it. I didn't think it was a horrible race, but I think the fact that it's been on Apple TV all year has killed F1's ratings, to be honest.
I mean, we don't really know the ratings, but I don't think it's been good. I think give it a couple more races, I think you're going to start seeing a lot more partnerships with Netflix because of how...
I didn't really have any trouble on my end watching it.
No, I tuned in for a bit, but when I'm saying F1's a dead sport, I don't mean it's not fun to watch. I just think I wouldn't say myself as a true F1 fan, because I started watching Drive to Survive, and that's what got me into F1, because I didn't understand F1 really. I think watching Drive to Survive made me understand it. But the thing with F1 now is that the drivers don't enjoy it. They don't.
Yeah, I think a lot of the new regulations have been
obviously Kimmy and George love it because they're just sick.
I mean it's positively affected some racers and some teams, and other teams and racers have continued to struggle. I did think this race was not a bad one in terms of the results and how it shaped up. It seemed like it was a pretty good weekend overall. Kind of going along with your point about kind of it almost feels like there's a decrease in
enjoyment
for the racers and whatnot. But I do think taking it off of in terms of United States viewership, taking it off of ESPN affected it way more than what I think they initially thought. I don't think there's a lot. I think numbers-wise, they probably still did better on ESPN.
Well, like ESPN they just aired it. They didn't do anything.
Yeah,
it was all Sky Sports.
Yeah, it was Sky Sports feed that was fed in.
So I don't know,
which is exactly what it needed. I don't think you need your own separate team or anything like that. I think you just need.
Does Apple TV have their own separate?
I have no idea.
That's the
thing.
Know.
I haven't been able to get a race because
I don't
it's
know
on
if they
Apple
have their
TV.
own separate team or if they just use Sky Sports and just put Apple TV everywhere on it.
Maybe I know.
What's even worse
there's a couple different ways.
What's even worse is that you can't like F1 TV. you used to be able to subscribe to that to like legit,
And you'd be able to watch all the races.
all the races. You could watch. There's like live timing tables.
I think you still can. It's just not in the States.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
in other countries, but you cannot in the United States because of the Apple TV.
And
bullshit.
that's what's going to kill its popularity a bit in the United States. I think with it having on Netflix this past weekend, I think it got a little bit more eyes back into the sport. Obviously, it's been a pretty good season so far. Kemi's been off to the races. I think that was his 4th or 5th straight race that he's won. So it's definitely some different people collecting points. I know Hamilton this past weekend got P2, just got his first podium with Ferrari after being there for a couple of races over a year now. And Verstappen back on to the podium as well. So a little bit of blast from the past.
It didn't even feel like Verstappen on the podium.
No.
It just
I mean, you could tell he's struggling with the new car. I think Hamilton has had, he's on the up, I think, the remainder of the season. I think they've been able to fix it a good bit, but obviously I think that car has ways to go because Mercedes is just miles ahead. Very mimics a couple seasons ago when Red Bull was miles clear of everyone else. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Mercedes can kind of outlast kind of anyone else. And it honestly appears it appears like it's going to be another championship racer versus racer from the same team. Last season we saw it with Piastri and Lando
Norris
and this year I think we're getting it with Russell and Antonelli. That's
I mean, the Norris Piastri kind of second half of the season, Verstappen made his way in there.
Yeah, he made his charge. I think this is going to be strictly 1 and 2.
Oh,
and they
100%.
were going extremely hard against each other in the corners and everything. So maybe they'll be reckless in some instances, and that will cause them to drop points altogether, championship-wise, race individually. But
it's a difficult discussion to have amongst the team. Because
kind of like who do you favor? Yeah,
it's almost favoritism, and you could lose a driver based off that.
Yeah.
You could lose a driver to another team just off of that. Like, if you look at Mercedes when it was between Bottas and Hamilton, Bottas had a fair shot at Hamilton, but they ended up siding with Hamilton just because of his, I'd assume, his history with Mercedes, how long he's been there, etc. So Bottas had to take brunt of it.
It's part of the game.
Exactly. But now, as a Mercedes, you look at Kimi Antonelli, who's so young, who could move on easily. Do you side with him, or
it's going to be a similar thing?
Yeah, or do you
they'll end up pushing Russell out eventually, and then Antonelli will be the main guy. It will happen again and again.
The thing with Antonelli, he's so young, he's bound to make mistakes. Where if he makes let's say 2 races in a row, he makes a couple mistakes that lead to DNFs, and George wins those races. I know it's a crazy hypothetical, but it's something that is being talked about in Mercedes right at this moment.
Yeah, I think their message is just, race each other, but keep it clean. Don't do anything risky to put the team in danger as well in terms of all the repairs they have to do on their car and everything, and the fact that getting a constructors championship is also just as important as to getting an individual.
They're going to double DNF this season.
They're going to After what I saw this past weekend, they'll clip each other. They'll take each other out at some point.
It's going to be another Hamilton-Rosberg moment, I believe.
Yep. That is my exact thought.
It's bound to happen.
I'm just hoping that I'll be able to get to watch more F1 this year. I'm hoping we get Netflix something, just make it more accessible to people, because at one point in time it was peak popularity here in the States.
Not that many people have Apple TV.
Yeah, I feel like it's some of the lower on the list of subscription services.
It just feels like an extra thing to add.
Yeah, I feel like if you got Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max,
and Prime,
Paramount, Peacock, Prime, you got enough. You don't.
You
need
have
Apple
a lot
TV.
just right there.
Like Apple TV is going to get you a couple good movies, a couple good TV shows,
You get the
and then
MLS.
you'll get the MLS and F1. Those are really your only things. So it's like, if that's what you want, then go for it. But yeah, I don't see that as a reasonable streaming service, in my opinion. But we can kind of, end things with some juiciness. We had some people pumped up this weekend. I believe it was in Vegas at the Enhanced Games. This was a first of its kind event where they didn't test athletes for performance enhancers. So there was a mixture of clean and enhanced athletes that were racing against each other, and it was basically only 3 sports, but with multiple events. So you had track, swimming, and weightlifting, like powerlifting, I believe. And for swimming, there was...
Good luck pronouncing that name.
No, I'm not pronouncing that one. For swimming, there was one guy that was not enhanced that won, and that was the 50-meter backstroke. All the other people...
50-meter freestyle won as well. He got a world record, I thought.
No, yeah, I know, but that's what I'm getting to, bro. Chill. Don't get so
I thought you
excited
were saying
over these enhanced games.
the backstroke guy got the world record.
No, he just won
Yeah.
his thing. So all the winners of each event each final got $250K, and then if they broke a world record, they get $1 million. But the world record is still invalid. By the way, it doesn't count because they're not tested.
They had a swimsuit on as well that is illegal.
I mean, nothing mattered in this. You just needed to start and finish. But there was only one non-enhanced guy. You could have been a
shark. You could have been a Mako shark.
There was one non-enhanced guy that won. He won 50-meter backstroke, and then everyone else was an enhanced athlete, and a couple set personal best as well. So that's pretty awesome to see what happened out there in the water. And for the weightlifting, honestly, I didn't watch many of these events over the weekend. I did see some clips from the swimming events, and I also saw the men's deadlift, which was I believe. No,
Thor.
Maybe not. But Thor Bjornsson, the Mountain, he almost broke the world record for deadlift. He almost had it.
So he's not natty.
No. You think a man with the nickname the Mountain is natural?
Well, like at what point was he, or did this make him not natural?
Dude, he used to be like a huge power lifter, bro.
So power lifters,
all of those guys are juiced up to some extent.
So none of them are natural.
No.
Really?
Who's the short guy? Freddie Hall? Isn't that his name?
Okay, but in the Olympics they have to be natural.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the Olympics they test for drug testing, which is why these records don't stand, because there was no regulation.
Yeah. Okay.
On performance enhancing. So that's why if a record was set, it doesn't count.
So he was trying to beat his own record,
he was just trying to beat the world record. But he got 510 kg. It failed at 515. So that was a hell of a lift. I mean, dear God, that looked heavy as shit. Then over their last event was track, and it was just a women's 100 and a men's 100.
And they were juiced up?
They were allowed to be juiced up. And once again, no regulations. The winner of the men's 100-meter was the American Fred Curley, who's been a pretty well-known name in the running community. Big sprinter for us, especially in the Olympics and the world competitions. But he got 9.97 to win. And he before was talking about how he was going to beat Usain Bolt's world record, and he was going to do it clean. And he didn't even come close. He was about 0.4 off from the world record, and he was also clean as well. So it probably would have counted, but he didn't beat Usain Bolt's world record. But it was a pretty unique and exciting event, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do something like this in the future. Maybe something a little bit different. I would like to see maybe more events, more sports. I'm not sure what else there could be where performance enhancing is, actually enhancing your game. But it'd be interesting to see kind of what they think and what they include for the future.
Is
if there is a
Bonds
future.
gonna use this in an argument to show that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Because
No. This is not the argument he's going to make. The argument he's going to make is if
it's
he's
really
not in,
hard to hit a
if
baseball.
he's not in and Alex Rodriguez gets in,
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
if a guy like that, but I
But
mean
like,
at the
how
end of the
much
day,
does
all those
steroids
guys
really improve, because at the end of the day, you got to be really.
it gives you
freaking
more
good.
power. It gives you more power. At the end of the day, you still got to hit the ball. That's the thing about baseball is performance
But like
enhancing.
swimming, you still need the form. Like I could be juiced up and I'm not beating Michael Phelps because I don't know how to swim.
Well, yeah, but these guys that were juiced were swimmers.
Yeah,
That
but
just-
how good?
One guy was a race. One swimmer swam in the Olympics for us. It's like he was an Olympic swimmer. Now he just juiced himself. Like he wasn't a current swimmer, but he previously swam for Team USA, and now he's juiced up. So he was like, "Yeah, I'll hop in this."
Shoot me up.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. I mean, that sounds like some compound V.
Well, I
Sounds like
was-
the boys type
Can
of
we
shit
talk
that would
about
happen.
the founder of this? I saw him doing the interview during the broadcast, and he had a freaking umbrella.
I don't think that was the founder, bro.
He had something to do with the event, but he had an umbrella on. They're like, "Why do you have an umbrella in Vegas?" And he's like, "The sun is one of the
Yeah, I think
highest
that's
things."
Brian Johnson. That's the guy that has the Netflix thing about being the healthiest man. I want to
Oh
live
yeah,
forever.
that dude. Okay,
That's,
yeah, that
that's
dude's
that
a
guy.
freak.
He was brought in because he knows so much
He's a freak.
about the body and everything like that. That's why they brought him in. And he was on Netflix. I don't even think this was on Netflix, but he has a
Is he
personality.
happy? Do you think?
Probably. He's
No
gonna
way.
live for 100 plus, bro.
Dude, if I had to bring an umbrella in the middle of summer,
It's a
sunny
UV protected umbrella
Man.
too, bro.
out, what is he, spray tan?
He has to be because he looked a little. He didn't look wide enough.
Or
to
does
be,
he do that the peptide thing that makes you tan? Really
Never
easy.
heard of that. That sounds like a completely different podcast that we should be talking about peptides and how they work. That sounds interesting there. But yeah, I mean, I think you saw a couple clips from the enhanced games. Did you think it was just
nothing
interesting
special.
altogether? Just
It's not something that will sell. Like this thing's gonna collapse in a year because I'm not gonna
it's
be
like live golf.
it's not like I'm not gonna be Saturday night like, oh my gosh, enhanced games are on. Like maybe if it was like UFC enhanced games, like
That was just UFC in like the 2000s, bro. When that
you
shit
have-
was
you
not
have
regulated.
You have a flyweight against
Alistair
John Jones.
Overeem, he looked juiced, bro. Absolutely juiced up, and that was prime UFC.
This thing's not going to survive because
No, it was probably just a one-off gimmick. They'll probably
but it was a pretty big event. Like
a lot of money went into it. I'll be interested to see.
like all the set. Like were they in the
If-
sphere for the weightlifting? It looked like they were in the sphere
Dude, they looked like they were everywhere.
in Vegas.
Yeah,
like it looked
was,
like it was the Olympics.
it was interesting to see. I think Vegas is just trying to become more and more of a sports town, and obviously the additions of all the professional teams over the past couple of years have helped. But I think they just want to do anything that's going to help the future of sports in that town grow, whether it's special events like these or the proposed Las Vegas athletics in the next couple seasons, just things like that to keep people wanting to come to Vegas. Not only that, but also to get into the sports world. Everyone loves sports. Everyone loves to be a part of it, whether you're watching, playing, betting. Hopefully not playing and betting, though. But, yeah.
I have a couple things I want to talk about sports wise.
Late thoughts with Lanny.
Just all over the place here. Just scrolling. Eastern Michigan women's golf. Not a single golfer inside the top 100 ranked that they have. And they are in the semifinals for the NCAA national tournament. Fair play to them.
Is this for Division 1, 2,
Division
3?
One.
Division
Eastern
1.
Michigan. The green. What's their?
Yeah,
I forget their nickname.
the Eagles.
Yep, they have a gray football field. Anyways, they're getting some backlash online because of. There's a rumor. I'm not going to say it's true or not, but a lot of people are saying it's true. But their top golfers don't even live in Michigan. They aren't on campus at all. And they get flown out for the tournaments and the matches only. And they practice wherever they live. So they don't attend campus, they don't go to class, they do online school, and they get flown in for the events. And Eastern Michigan has been able to do this through their golf program because they got a $20 million NIL donation from a company that is tied in with Eastern Michigan somehow.
Well, if it helps, they did lose. Their Cinderella run
today?
came to an end. They lost to Stanford in the semis.
Really? They were
didn't
beating
get a single
Stanford.
point. They didn't get a single point.
Really?
They got swept 5-0 to Stanford. So if you care about golf, Division I, it looks like the final is between USC and Stanford for the championship.
Which is probably the most basic NCAA women's golf championship of all time.
Just two prime locations.
I think this is going to raise a lot of concern within the NCAA with what is considered ethical to be a student athlete and what's unethical to be a student athlete.
I don't even, at least from what I'm looking at, I think, at least from what I've dug into, they haven't said any. I haven't seen anything like going off of that rumor or whatever. But they did make a point to state that kind of like what's been up is that they went from number 226 in NIL rankings they've gone from 226 in rankings to number 27 in rankings.
Yeah, that's that 20 million
under Josh
investment.
Brewer, thanks to the big NIL contributions.
Yep, that's what it was. But where do you draw the line in college sports as ethical and unethical? I think that's going to be. I think this is going to cause the big discussion. Is this moment here? Because people are going to. There's going to be uproar where it's like some college football coach is going to be pissed that he gets blown out by some team, and he's going to make a complaint about how none of their players are truly student athletes. They're just there to be athletes. And it's going to cause an investigation.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how that could affect and shape up the not even just the likes of golf and the NCAA, but as much of the other sports as well.
It's going to affect all the NCAA. That's what it's going to do.
I mean, I'm looking. I'm trying to find more information, but I'm not finding anything on.
It's all on Twitter discussions. This is where I'm seeing everything.
No backing.
And it won't get reported on.
No,
it won't.
Unless the NCAA reports it. I think a lot of people are just up in arms about the fact about just from some NIL donations, a team that was ranked 227 is now a 27th ranked team in the nation. I think is what's drawing attention to that more. Is like, okay, how'd this team get so good in just 2 years? Okay, they got all this money. How are they spending it? Where are they spending it? Things like that. But that just goes to show you that it's affecting all the sports at the end of the day. I think another one where if you want to talk about ethical, you got the whole NBA back to college basketball that people are trying. A couple guys tried it last year.
That could be a whole episode
I believe
itself.
They're trying it again in LSU. They've tried bringing in 5 guys this offseason for their basketball program, and all are ineligible at this moment, whether they need extra year waivers from a judge or they just need some form of eligibility because they played at some point professionally, whether it was overseas or whatnot. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how that shapes up there. But, yeah, all for NIL, all for getting people paid, but I think there's got to be some form of backing, some regulations to this whole thing because I think it's starting to get out of hand,
off
and I
the
think it's
walls.
going to get out of hand quicker and quicker here.
Wait till you get the Saudis involved. Some Saudi prince graduates from some university.
UAB.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He plays NCAA college football once, and he's just in. Two more things, late night things that I saw. Brendan Sorsby, one of the weirdest college football things going on right now, with Trinidad getting another year of eligibility. That is odd by itself. But Sorsby, request for reinstatement for eligibility is denied.
Yeah, I'm not surprised it got denied. He's not going to play. The only way he
can't
goes
gamble
is
on Turkish basketball.
well. That's not the thing. They don't care about him gambling on Turkish basketball or on first pitch strike or ball. Like they don't care. The fact that he bet on games where he was a rostered player, whether he was playing or not, that's the problem.
Yeah,
and that's a fair problem to
Yeah.
not bring someone back for. And I don't know if he can just go to the NFL. I don't think he can. I think he could go through like a supplemental draft. I know that's happened to at least two guys back
He
in
should
the
go
day.
to. What is supplemental draft? What is that?
I think it's basically for people that have been like banned from the NCAA or for.
So Josh Gordon was involved.
Yeah, I think it was
that.
Josh Gordon and a Raiders player also back in the day.
So is that a separate draft, or do they just get drafted in the NFL still in a regular draft, and it's just called a supplemental pick? Either way, someone said that the NCAA should put Sorsby in a casino for 24 hours, and if he doesn't gamble once, that he should be reinstated.
Okay, yeah, no. So the supplemental draft has been a thing for quite some time.
Which just very rarely happens.
But yeah, no. It says it last took place in 2023, although no player was selected. The last player selected in a supplemental draft was Jalen Thompson back in 2019. But
So it happens every so often.
yeah, it could happen every year if there's players who are eligible but weren't eligible to be picked at the time of the NFL draft, basically because of some form of adversity, which includes disciplinary reasons or like to petition the league for entry into the supplemental draft. Let me see what it tells me. So 2019 mentioned was the last time, and that was Jalen Thompson. He was selected, and that there's been 46 players selected from the NFL supplemental draft.
Just a
And
thug of a
not
league.
not many ended up being successful. A lot back in the day were there was a lot more back in the day. I'll just get to some big names and like a quick reason why, just so you can kind of gain an idea. Brian Bosworth was selected first in a supplemental draft in '87,
Wait, hold on. Was
linebacker
he-
by the
hold
Seahawks
on.
because he got dismissed from the '86 season from Oklahoma. And since he was a junior, he was eligible to be chosen for the draft, but he didn't declare in time before the draft. So he had to wait until the supplemental draft, which he was eligible for due to his graduation from Oklahoma 1 year prior.
How many rounds are in the supplemental draft?
I mean, there can't be that many rounds. There's only been 46 players selected, and it's
Or-
been a thing
or
since
do you-
1977.
Or do they get into the draft?
Oh, yeah, he was in the first round, not first overall, my bad. Yeah, I think when they get into the draft, they have like a supplemental pick is maybe not the, no, it's a different draft. Here we go. Yeah, it's a completely different draft. It's for players who, for various other reasons, it affected their eligibility, had it affected somehow, so they weren't allowed to declare or enter the NFL draft. But then after the draft, they're allowed to, like, okay, their problems are resolved. Now they can be in the draft.
Oh,
but they
so
didn't
it
meet-
happens mid-July.
Yeah.
Oh, so he could still declare.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Is like, who will take a chance on him? He's
Okay.
gambled on
Okay, that makes
as
sense.
he's been a player.
So Trinidad could have been. So that's why he was. So Trinidad fell through. He would have won.
He could have. Like if
supplemental.
now it was like no, then he would, because he missed the deadline to enter the draft. So now he
Okay.
could be. Another guy was Chris Carter. He was suspended his senior season at Ohio State because he signed with an agent. So he was selected by the Eagles in the 4th round of the 87.
Bo Jackson.
87.
Did he?
No.
Okay.
So, I know there's a couple big names here.
I guess Bo Jackson would have fell into that category because the Raiders flew him out and that banned him from being a college athlete.
He wasn't put in here though, because
it didn't exist.
Yeah. Well, no, I just don't think he just got drafted first in baseball. I thought.
No, he got drafted in the NFL first, and he just didn't sign. He refused to sign.
Joined later.
Yep.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, here are the 2 big names. Terrell Pryor. Mm-hmm. He was a quarterback from Ohio State. Mm-hmm. He entered because he was suspended as part of NCAA investigations into improper benefits. So that goes back to paying players type of thing. So he entered in 2011, was selected in the 3rd round. Josh Gordon, another big name guy, 2012 receiver out of Baylor. He was selected in the 2nd round. He was dismissed for failed marijuana test. That was why he was in the supplemental draft and not in the actual draft. But those were really some of the biggest names. Not many of the other guys on this list ended up having, the big careers, but at least some of them played some form of football. So it'll be interesting to kind of see if that comes into effect this year, given the circumstances. If he goes, where does he go? Does anyone take him? Things like that. So that'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on for sure.
Lastly, the price of the Knicks finals tickets. People were comparing it.
You could buy a house in Oklahoma City.
It's listed for $1.09 million. One ticket, row 1, section 11D.
Not even courtside, bro.
Not even courtside. And it is compared to a $1.1 million home in Oklahoma City. Four beds, 4 baths. Was it? San Antonio, 5 beds, 5 baths, over 4,500 square feet home. This thing looks like a palace.
Yeah, that's just insane. That's New York prices. That's Nick prices for you.
There's a 4-bedroom home listed, 2 baths, 3,300 square feet for $157,000. You could buy 10 homes.
That was probably another thing why, actual fans that were just your regular fans, regular people, why they liked the watch parties so much, because they could be with people watching the game. Instead, now they can't even be outside the arena because of the antics they get up to after the wins. But it just becomes that. I feel like that'd be a very hard thing. Like, you're a fan of the team, and no matter what, you can basically never get a playoff ticket. Because even, first round, it was still, $300 at least. I mean, that's New York at the end of the day, no?
Yeah. It's... I don't get it. It just ruins sports. The ticket prices are insane. I saw someone
I'll be shocked if anyone buys that.
Someone spent I saw a fan, I think it was an Arsenal fan. He spent €300 in total to fly, hotel stay, and ticket for a Champions League final. It costs $300 to go to a game, to get drinks and food.
Sometimes it's just $300 just to get to the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw another $20 into the parking now, and you got a whole bunch of food and drink you're sitting at, and a nice $500 game right there.
Yeah,
it's cheap on a good day.
And people wonder why no one goes to games.
Exactly. That's why you got to find cheap events, cheap teams, cheap owners.
Minor league.
Hey, show the minor leagues some love this summer. Get out to your local minor league and
show your
give
local
them some
minor
love.
league.
They always got crazy promotions. Yeah, I mean, I'll see if I can get out to a minor league game.
They're worth it. They're fun. I mean,
there's got to be some solid promotion.
Well, like you could go to a minor league game and see like
Yeah, you could see a
some
guy
guy on
on
an injury
yeah.
injury rehab assignment, and he's
That's why you always got to time. You got to check the IR report, see where the guys are at, so you get catch a glimpse of a star down at your local minor league team. But yeah, we're getting into the thick of the summer here. I think the next couple episodes are shaping
World
up to be
Cup.
some pretty good quality ones with the World Cup underway. It will be a very exciting next 2 months, give or take. But yeah, I think that's going to do it here at Section for Fans. That was episode 36. See you next time.